Alright guys, this video is going to talk about adding and subtracting fraction equations. So we're going to start, we have this equation x plus 6 2/3 equals 11. So we know that to solve for x, we have to isolate x. So if this is an addition problem, I'm going to do subtraction, 6 2/3. To both sides of the equation. Okay, so this is 0 because these cancel out and I bring down my x. Equals 11 minus 6 2/3. So, in order to do 11 minus 6 2/3, I have to regroup 11. I'm going to regroup 11 to be 10 3/3 because we know that 3/3, this is a whole fraction, minus 6 2/3. Okay, so now I have 10 minus 6 is 4, and 3/3 minus 2/3 is 1/3. Okay, let's take a look at another example. So we're solving for our value of x. This is a subtraction problem, so I have to do the inverse or the opposite operation to isolate the x. So I'm going to add 3 1/2 to each side. These cancel out, and now I have x equals 2 1/4 plus 3/2. Three and 1/2, sorry. Okay, so if we have 2 1/4 plus 3 1/2, I have to find the common denominator, or the equivalent fraction. Well, I know that I can take 1/2 and multiply it by 2/2, which will give me 1 times 2 is 2/4. Now I have common denominators. I have 2 1/4 plus 3 2/4. Okay, so now I have 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. 2 plus 3 is 5. So x equals 5 3/4. Let's work through another example. We have 5 3/5 equals m plus 7/10. We're trying to isolate the m. This is an addition problem, so we're going to do the inverse or opposite of addition, which is subtraction, of 7/10 to both sides. This cancels this, and now I have just my m equals 5 3/5 minus 7/10. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it over here to work that out. 5 3/5 minus 7/10. So I have two unlike denominators of a 5 and a 10. I know that I can multiply 5 times 2 to get a 10. But what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So now I have 5 3/5 times 2/2 equals 5. 5 times 2 gives me a like denominator of 10. 3 times 2 is 6. So now I have 5 6/10 minus 7/10. Okay, there's one more step in this problem because we have 6/10 minus 7/10. Well, we can't take 7 from 6, so we have to do something. So if we have 5 6/10 minus 7/10, we have to regroup the 5 and 6 tenths. We're going to borrow 1 and add 10 to this numerator. So this new number becomes 4 and 16 tenths minus 7 tenths. Okay? So now we have 16 minus 7, which is 9 tenths, and bring our 4. 4 and 9 tenths. Okay, so let's look at another equation where we're going to have to regroup for our last step. So we have x plus 1/5 equals 3 tenths. So in order to isolate the x, I'm going to do the opposite of addition, or the inverse operation, which is subtraction of 1 and 1/5, on both sides, minus 1 and 1/5. These cancel out, leaving my x. Now I have 5 and 3 tenths minus 1 and 1/5. Okay? So I have to get the like denominators before I can add or subtract. I know that I can multiply 5 times 2 to get a like denominator of 10. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2, sorry. So now I have 5 and 3 tenths minus 1 and 2 tenths. Which equals 5 minus 1 would be 4. 3 minus 2 would be 1 tenth. Okay, this is going to be the last example for this video. We're solving for y. We have y plus 8 and 2/4 equals 10. To isolate the y, I'm going to do the opposite or inverse operation of addition, which is subtraction. 8 and 2/4 to both sides. So now I have y equals 10 minus 8 and 2/4. Okay, so we're going to regroup our 10 to 9 and 4/4. Because 4/4 is a whole fraction, so 9 and 1 is still 10. Minus 8 and 2/4. So now I have 4 minus 2, which is 2/4, 9 minus 8, which is 1. Okay,